Speaking of never learning one's lesson, I'd like to invoke the classic show Arrested Development and the scene where Tobias Funke tells his wife that as a therapist, he sees all kinds of couples come to him saying, I want to open up the marriage. And he says, but they fool themselves into thinking it'll work this time, but it never works. And then he says, but maybe it'll work for us this time. That's the feeling that I get as I see the results of the Texas primaries roll in and the chatter that's starting to build in Washington and around the country that maybe this time Democrats have a chance to win a statewide election and take a Senate seat in Texas. Matt, you are a Republican political consultant. Talk me down because I'm getting kind of excited here.
First of all, Democrats nominated the right person. Tallarico actually has a shot. Now, look, this is a long shot. If I was to place money right now, today, on who's going to win, I would say Republican. But here's the thing. If Republicans nominate Ken Paxton, then this race becomes a little bit closer. Latino voters are leaving Republicans and the political environment. If this thing gets worse, if this war drags on longer, if gas prices go up, it does make this race competitive. And the thing about Republicans is we have decided to make this the hardest possible thing for us. I don't think Tallarico is going to be a United States senator. But what I do think is that it is probably going to cost Republicans an insane amount of money to hold on to Texas. And that is money that we should be spending in other competitive races. And how does that impact Maine? How does that impact North Carolina? How does that impact other races that Republicans need that money to maybe hold on to a majority? The result of this may not be a Texas win, but it may help you take control of the Senate. It will definitely help you take control of the House.
That's a very astute point. And I'll just add, look, there is a fighting chance here in Texas, especially if you guys end up nominating Paxton. Tallarico trails Cornyn by about 3 points in surveys, but he's tied right now with Paxton about 46-46. Democrats appear to have unusually high enthusiasm. They cast about 53% of early primary ballots compared to 47% for Republicans, and Democratic early voting was 274% higher than in the 2022 midterms. I'll also point out that a Democrat won by 14 points in a special election in a district that Trump had carried by 17, a 31-point swing. That is a leading indicator that maybe things may be moving in Texas.